Hello, and welcome to Soothing Pod's Sleep Stories. My name is Arif, and tonight I will be your guide as we embark on a sleepy train journey through the amber woods of the Appalachians. Before we begin, however, let us take a moment to relax and find comfort in the place that we are in. Close your eyes and allow your body to sink into the mattress beneath you. Here and now, there are no obligations. There is no to-do list. By simply closing your eyes and listening to the sound of my voice as we go on this soothing, joyful journey together, you are already giving yourself the rest and relaxation that you need. Notice how your body feels as it sinks deeper and deeper into the mattress beneath you. Can you feel the softness of the mattress embracing you and cradling you, giving you a safe and secure place to unwind? Notice how the pillow beneath you cushions your head, giving it a place to rest and let go of any negative feelings after a long day. With your eyes still closed and your body sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress by the second, let us travel somewhere together for a moment. You are still in your bed, but your bed is no longer in your room. Instead, your bed is nestled deep, deep within the forest. The air around you is fresh and bright, and with every breath you take of it, you feel invigorated. Its briskness allows you to breathe a little more fully, and yet the refreshing bite of the distant pine trees and nearby cinnamon bark colored cedars fills you with a sense of hope and positivity. It makes you feel connected to the forest around you, and even more deeply connected to yourself. The fresh air entering your lungs untangles any weight that you have been carrying there. You feel a lightness wash across your body, a lightness that somehow allows you to sink even deeper and more freely into the bed beneath you. You feel no burden on your body any longer. Nothing is pressing you down. Nothing is weighing on your chest. Your lungs feel free to expand more, and your heart has more room to beat at a soothing, relaxed pace. The wind brushing over your skin whisks away any excess heat you are feeling, leaving you at the perfect temperature. The plush blankets lying over you keep you just warm enough in the crisp autumn air, wrapped around you like a cozy cocoon that has been woven of silk just for you. You look up at the trees towering over you. Even with winter approaching, the branches are flourishing, full of beautiful leaves. In the silvery light of the full harvest moon, you can see the leaves sparkling in their gorgeous array of colors. They are scarlet, orange, yellow, and gold, with flecks of green glistening here and there. With every gentle gust of wind, The leaves rustle and dance, showing you a different shade with every twirl of their fibers and stems. It is like watching a moving art display, one that has been made specially just for you. And though the leaves above you are beautiful, there is something before you that is even more stunning. The forest that encompasses you narrows until it reaches a large, sprawling meadow. The meadow glows a brilliant silver as the tall grasses catch the light of that full harvest moon that looks so close you swear you can reach out and grab its craggy surface with your bare hands. The meadow grasses sway back and forth, shimmering like a sheet of silver cast over the wind. And in the center of that silvery dream of a meadow is a tree. It appears to be a large, ancient oak tree. Its trunk is wide and teeming with wisdom, with years and years of observing and learning, and growing from the world around it. Your eyes trace the tree's trunk down to its roots, which burrow deep within the soil at your feet. Overhead, the leaves of the tree are even more striking than the other leaves in the forest. The oak leaves are large and are a breathtaking display of orange, red, and yellow, shimmering and crackling like the flames of a cozy campfire on a cool night. As you breathe in, the leaves on the tree seem to multiply. You watch as they spread across the lofty branches in a stunning wave, rippling like flowers that are springing to full bloom. As you exhale, you watch in awe as all the leaves start to fall off the tree. They descend down, drifting to a rest on the forest floor, one after the other. But when you breathe in again, the leaves sprout back to life, blooming from the trees one after the other, glistening as they pop across the branches seemingly with ease. The tree fills with nourishment and flourishes just as you nourish yourself with a long, deep breath. You breathe in, watching the leaves ripple to life all across the tall, stunning oak tree. They sway in the breeze, so full and beautiful, it fills you with a sense of total relaxation. When you exhale, you watch the leaves as they drift peacefully to the ground below, landing on the soft moss as if they are merely feathers falling upon a pillow. You breathe in and out freely as the leaves blossom back to full bloom on the tree once more. You watch them sway and feel the wind on your skin. Here, in this bed, you can be anywhere and imagine anything. And tonight, we will spend plenty of time in the golden woods together. Now that we have taken a moment to unwind and find peace in the place that we are in here and now, let us begin our story of the peaceful autumn woods. Before you realize where you are soothed by the feeling of brisk, damp air as it calms your body and fills your lungs. The air tastes of mist and wild countryside, of untamed forests, wildflower meadows, and cozy knots in trees that woodland creatures are tucked away in to keep warm. There is a low haze hanging in the air, a haze that engulfs the landscape around you like a filter, giving everything a mythical, dreamlike look. And that is truly incredible, considering the landscape around you already has a dreamlike quality to it. You are deep within a forest somewhere, seemingly far, far removed from society and the hustle and bustle of the city. Here, you feel a weightless freedom from your obligations. There is nothing expected of you here. There are no rules here. You can simply stand here in the mist and breathe it in and breathe it out, daydreaming about what life is really about. All around you, the vast and dense forest is awash in a mosaic of warm and neutral hues. There are scarlet leaves, marigold leaves, amber leaves, mahogany leaves, even a few emerald leaves that are still clinging to the last bits of warm summer weather and sunshine. Mixed in with the deciduous trees, there is a peppering of pines and a sprinkling of cedars, just enough to remind you of the diversity of this brilliant landscape and the plants and trees within it. In a few short months, those pines and cedars will be coated in a fluffy layer of snow that chickadees will be nestled upon, nibbling on bright red berries. But for now, they are basking in the mist of this cool autumn afternoon. Before you, a stream laces through the thick forest. It looks like an artist has taken a smooth brush and painted the water across the landscape in one fell swoop. The stream is like glass, moving so slowly, it almost looks as if it isn't moving at all. It reflects the sky above you, which is a swirl of gray and slate and white. The clouds overhead are dark and massive, so much so that they look ethereally close to you, like you can reach out and brush your fingers through the heavens above. But the forest and the sky and the river aren't the only stunning thing before you. Though you are in the midst of the forest, you are not standing on dirt or soil. Oddly enough, you are standing on cobblestones. A cobblestone train platform, to be exact. There is a tiny shelter on the platform whose color matches the forest around you. The paint is a brilliant mustard yellow that blends into the landscape with pops of beige and brown and orange that make it look as if it was plucked out of a coming-of-age movie. There is an antique clock ticking away at the top of the shelter. It appears to be wrought iron, but it has a cozy, magical, somehow welcoming quality to it that makes you feel safe, at peace, like you are in a storybook that has been written just for you. You walk up onto the platform to discover you have it all to yourself. The cobblestones below you are breathtaking, a lazy labyrinth of moss and plants pop up in between the stones, reminding you just how far removed from society this soothing spot seriously is. Old train tracks run in front of you. In between each rung, there is a bed of plants that seems to have been growing for quite some time. It makes the whole area feel especially quaint, a place that has been lost in time and has reappeared just for you. Slowly, rain begins to drizzle down from the sky above. It dances across the cobblestones, filling the air with that aroma of fresh rain, that aroma that is unlike any other. You breathe the air deeply, drinking it with abandon and feeling it breathe revitalization into you. But just as you exhale, you hear something rather peculiar. Since you first arrived, all you have been hearing is the steady sound of birds chirping, warning one another of the coming rain. But now you hear a ding that sounds a bit like an old-timey cash register. You turn, and in the corner of the shelter, you notice something you hadn't noticed before. There is a small ticket dispenser that looks a bit like a machine that belongs on a farm or at a carnival. And there is a ticket hanging out of it. You approach the strange, worn little machine and take the ticket from the dispenser. It is warm in your hands, and not only that, it is glowing. A small gold light radiates across the ticket as ink begins to form on it like magic. You hold the edges of the ticket in your damp fingertips as the words come to life. In the dark black ink on worn pulp paper, it reads, "Round trip ticket, autumn abundance." You flip the ticket over in your smooth hands, wondering what exactly is the meaning of it. It is still warm to the touch, and the golden light is flickering just around the edges now, like the sun trying to peek out from behind the clouds. You wonder if a train is truly going to come, and soon your question is answered. In the distance, you hear the steady drone of a train approaching. It chugs chugs, chugs along, its wheels gliding along with ease, shaking the iron tracks ever so slightly. Steam billows from the smokestack on the top of the train, and the painting on the sides of the train draws a delighted gasp from your lips. It looks like something out of a fairy tale. It is red and black, a distinctive look you've only ever seen in movies. Its old world charm mystifies you in the most miraculous way, and you can't help but step up to the line to see it a bit closer. After winding through the mist and the trees, sending up those daydreamy billows, you are almost expecting a wizard to step off the train as it stops at your little station. But as it rolls to a stop, you don't see a soul on board. In fact, as the train doors open, you are surprised by who is waiting for you. A gray squirrel sits atop a pedestal by the door. It's dressed in an old red velvet conductor's cap, and it gazes at you with its brown eyes as if it can completely and totally understand anything you're about to say. The squirrel nods at you and reaches its tiny, fluffy paw out. Unsure of what exactly to do, you hand the squirrel the ticket with the brow raised. The squirrel inspects the ticket quickly, flipping it over a time or two before it nods with a look of satisfaction. It takes all you have not to gasp at how adorable the squirrel's fluffy, velvety gray fur is. The squirrel grabs a tiny hole puncher with the other hand and punches your ticket before handing it back to you. Rather ostentatiously, the squirrel motions for you to continue on the train to find a seat. The compartments aboard the train are like a dream. In fact, the interior of the train itself is a dream. The walls are lined with rich, dark mahogany that gives the entire space a luxurious, antique, cozy feel. There is a short carpet beneath your feet with an ornate ruby design, and all the seats and furnishings are in warm shades as well. The inside of the train is just as warm and inviting as the forest you were in outside. With no one else on the train, you decide to settle into the most plush, comfortable booth you can find. You plop down on the cozy cushion, which you sink into with ease. The moment you sit down and get comfortable, the train begins to move along. It moves slowly, intentionally. This is not a train to get somewhere. It is a train to experience something. And from up here, you are experiencing the autumn forest in a whole new light. Level with the leaves of the trees, you are now engulfed by the sea of orange, yellow, and red in a way you never thought possible. It feels like you are flying through the leaves, drifting through them, untethered and free like a bird sailing on through. In fact, from up here, you can see some of the birds as they go about their intricate, unique lives in the lush branches around them. As you gaze out at the incredible sea of sunflower and amber, a fluffy, fuzzy blur darts by your window. You follow the blur as it lands on a branch just beyond the window of the comfortable, cozy train. A black-capped chickadee stares back at you, its round, black little eyes glistening like a shimmering tourmaline in what little sunlight can make its way through the rainy clouds. Black-capped chickadees are unique birds, utterly beautiful even in their simplicity. They are round and plush, like tiny stuffed animals that have been brought to life and dropped in the trees. Its white chest slowly turns to a warm buff color as you follow it down towards the chickadee's delicate legs, which are clinging to a moss-covered branch just beyond the glass. Its feathers are a mix of slate, dark gray, and a sooty black that matches the color of its head and beak. There is something sleek and beautiful about the chickadee, and as it turns its head at you, you can't help but smile. It takes off, fluttering through the sky gracefully, narrowly skirting around leaves without a care in the world. You watch as the chickadee dives down into the soft, evergreen grass below. It hops with each step, barely clearing the blades of grass it is wading its way through. It pecks down at the grass in purposeful, elegant little motions, coming back up with seeds that you can just barely see hanging out of its black beak. Looking satisfied, the chickadee takes back off into the trees. With the flap of its wings, it sends the soft, fluffy grass fluttering in different directions, like a gust from a windstorm. The chickadee sails effortlessly into the branches just ahead of you. It happily jumps along the branch, flapping its wings slightly, almost as if it is dancing in celebration. Then, to your surprise, the chickadee stuffs some of the seeds in a knot in the tree. It covers them with a few leaves and some debris, carefully using its beak and feet to pat it down. It hops down the branch, grabbing hold of some bright red berries that seem to have just ripened on the end. Against the chickadee's black beak, the red berries seem to shine. The chickadee takes off from the branch, the berries still in its mouth. It swoops just by the window of the train, following along with you as you continue your sleepy saunter down the tracks. It glides so close to you that you desperately want to reach your fingers out and brush its soft feathers. But you know this is an act so beautiful that you can't interrupt it. The chickadee lands safely at the base of a tree, and, just like it did on the branches high above, it finds a knot and buries the berries inside it. Once the berries are safely in place, the chickadee puffs up its feathers and takes to the skies once more, heading off into the distance beyond the forest of autumn trees. Chickadees live in cool climates where winters can be extremely unforgiving with little food sources. To combat this, chickadees spend autumn stocking up on food and eating as much as they can. In addition, they gather seeds, berries, and insects and hide them across the forest. Many animals do this, but few actually remember where they have hidden the food. Chickadees are incredibly intelligent and easily remember where they have left their meals. Even on the coldest, snowiest days, when branches are blanketed in snow and the sky is as gray and cold as the dark side of the moon, the chickadees are able to find the food they've hidden and feast like it's the middle of summer. The train continues on as you leave the precious little chickadee alone. You cuddle up in your seat, holding your legs to your chest for comfort and warmth. You are plenty comfortable in the plush seat of this marvelous train, but curling up into yourself makes it feel even better. You listen to the wheels of the train and the sound of the rain pitter-pattering on the glass window just beside you. The steady mechanical rhythm of the train has a soothing effect unlike any other. Leaning back against the soft seat, you can practically feel the train moving with the motions. The steady chug, chug, chug as the train presses forward, winding along the tracks and descending deeper and deeper into the lush forest all around you. The sound of the wheels churning and all the mechanical aspects of the train moving in perfect unison to propel you on this joyous journey lulls you closer and closer to a state of total and complete relaxation. You're not sure you've ever felt this incredible before. The train rounds a corner on the tracks and slowly begins to descend down a small slope into a valley below. The valley is nestled between two rocky peaks that rise high into the gray sky. As you glide down slowly into the valley, you find yourself staring at a landscape that is similar to the one you were just in, but somehow wildly different and even more beautiful. The trees are sparser now as you enter a long stretch of what appears to have been farmland long, long ago. Meadows stretch on either side to the base of those rocky mountains and are crisscrossed by stone fences from many, many decades ago. The stone fences were clearly made by hand, a wobbly crisscross of pens that are now covered in thick, plush moss with trees sprouting out every couple of feet. The fields themselves are speckled with clusters of trees, autumn trees that seem to be even brighter than the trees you saw in the forest moments ago. Some of the fields are amber, a brilliant contrast to the gray skies overhead. They sway in the breeze, dancing like a stunning moving canvas. You watch them for a long moment, breathing in the aroma of them as they move side to side. It smells of earth hay, rich and warm. It reminds you of pumpkin patches as a kid, of fall decorations lining a cozy town, of fresh apple pie coming out of a toasty oven. On the other side of these expansive meadows, a green field stretches alongside the rock walls. The grass there is wild, peppered with the last wildflowers of summer that have managed to hold on as the days get cooler and cooler. A few stray leaves from trees roll across the field. In yet another field, a garden is abundant with crops. Autumn is a time of abundance, a time of harvest and joy. You are reminded on this journey that the stunning landscape does not just provide beauty and a sense of belonging. It provides everything we need to live. Bright orange pumpkins grow, big and ripe at the edge of the field. Their green curling vines descend into the healthy soil below, rich soil that is helping them grow big. Behind them, squash blossoms in neat rows. You can practically taste the roasted squash and the soups as you gaze over the harvest. You lean your head out the window into the rain just a tad, just to drink the freshness of the air outside. The smell of the rain on the soil sends a warm relaxation tumbling through your body. Your muscles relax even more, and your heart slows in your chest, just like it nourishes the plants and the soil. The rain, too, nourishes you. You slowly move past the farm, heading toward the edge of this meadow. As you do, your eye catches something else remarkable. In the center of the field, a beautiful orange fox glances over its shoulder at you. It may be one of the most graceful and stunning animals you've ever seen. Its fluffy tail pops against the green grass, and its kind, soft eyes burrow deep into your soul. It is the epitome of an autumn animal. Here, it is hunting in the field, looking for food to stock up on before winter comes. And even as it does that, It looks like a thing of beauty, like poetry coming to life. Its fluffy tail swishes with each step, and the elegance it possesses makes it look like it's flying over the grass. You watch the fox bound through the field with ease. Just as it reaches the tree line, it looks over its shoulder at you once more. It's as if it is bidding you farewell, sending you on your journey as it continues on hers. Slowly, you pull up to a small station. It is nearly identical to the one you started from when you began this journey not all that long ago. With a smile, feeling utterly refreshed, you step off the train into the soft rain. There is an umbrella waiting under the shelter for you, and in the distance, you can see the farm stand for the garden that you drove by. You pop the umbrella up over your head and watch the train continue on. With a healed heart and a hopeful mind, you head toward the farm stand, wondering what autumn abundance awaits you there. I hope you have enjoyed this sleep story and a relaxing journey through the Appalachian Mountains, and that it has brought you a night of peaceful sleep and relaxation. Please join me again tomorrow night for another sleep story. Until then, sweet dreams.